Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be grading around the pond, planting some seed, and installing two French drains to capture two springs that I could not encompass in the footprint of the pond. I'm going to pipe them into the pond so the water is going into the pond. The one spring on the north side, you can see this swale's kind of still wet from the one spring, and basically I wanted to make sure that that water was going into the pond and not keeping the outside of the pond wet, because the swale was always wet because of the spring. So if we follow that swale up, you can see where that spring was coming out of the ground. I actually hit the spring when I dug down. I hit some old fieldstone, and I'm wondering if the original homestead or the original farm, if they put a field drain in there with sandstone. I guess that was a thing they did back in the day. But you can see the pond's filling up here, slowly but surely. Piping these springs in is going to help, but it's been really hot here, like over 90 degrees for about a week straight. So really dry. It had just rained a tiny bit before we started disking this field, but the contractor left this very rough because when he installed the pond it was really wet. You can see, look at the size of those ruts as the tractor goes across them there. This disc's doing a great job at leveling it out. Takes a bunch of passes, but here you can see just how rough it is. I parked my tractor here for reference. Some of these track marks from the bulldozer, I kind of graded that out with my bucket, but this next one here, it's probably 2 feet deep actually. Very rough. That one's about less than a foot. This one's about 2 feet deep. You can see about two boot lengths tall. So very rough. The disc is doing a great job here. It's getting it all leveled out. You'll see him make several passes. And here's me and my son watching him level this out for us. And this is my neighbor who farms our property with us. And basically we exchange, we kind of operate on the barter system. We exchange help to each other whenever we can. I help him when I can, and he helps me when he can. So very thankful that he's helping us out here. And as you can see, the more he drives over it, the more level it gets. And I actually didn't film it, but at the end here, when you see us spreading the seed at the end of this video, you can see how level the field is. He ran his cultivating over this, and it did an excellent job at leveling it out. So anyway, I'll put a little bit of music to this last piece of him disking this section, and then we'll get into the French drains. Here's the second spring. This is on the south side of the pond. This one was a little bit closer to the pond, but kind of coming out of the hillside again. Same thing, I hit some old fieldstone, and that's when I hit the water. So I wonder if this one was the same situation where, you know, the old farmstead found, or, you know, tried to mitigate this spring by putting old fieldstone in a ditch to pipe the water away. But anyway, you will see me, what I did, I bought solid pipe, 4-inch, you know, just corrugated drain pipe. I bought it solid, and then I'm perforating it myself because I only wanted a perforated portion laying inside of the spring ditch itself, like the French drain, and then I need solid pipe going through the breast and the swale. I did not want perforated pipe going through the breast of the swale because then it would always lay wet, and then I'm trying to put these basically just above the water level of the pond where they outflow, you know, in the pond, but just to get enough fall on the pipe, I'm going to probably need these to be like down into the water. So obviously if there's water in this at all times, because the outflow is submerged in the pond, I don't want that pond water to be leaking out of the perforations in the pipe. So I'm perforating it myself the length that I want, and then it'll be solid going through the swale and the dam. Just using a oscillating saw to cut the slots. Basically I cut every 90 degrees and I alternate about 45 degrees every other rib. So that's what I did, and I did both sides about 6 feet of perforated capture in those springs. Alright, so right here you see me stomping this woven geotextile fabric down in there, and there's a lot of water in the bottom of this trench, and as I stomp it down in, I wanted to see if the water would leach through it, and it did not. I mean, barely. It barely drips through, so that woven fabric does not flow water very good, so I abandoned that idea and I'm going with the felt.
Had my doubts about the French drain working. This thing flows a lot of water out of this little spot, and so my surprise today when I came back, it's drying up. There's actually no water. Peeled back some dirt up here to see if there's water in the subsoil, and the clay's even drying out. There's no water coming, under the dirt, so it's all should be going in the pipe. So let's take a peek here. There's water coming out. Look at that. That's flowing really good. It worked. I can't believe it. I'm happy about that. This thing flows a lot of water. It's 90 degrees with 90% humidity today, and it's still flowing enough water to fill all this area and be still filling the pond. Pond's still going up every day, even in this 90% humidity. So, very happy with that. I'm gonna install some critter guards. I made these out of a piece of fence, like chicken wire almost, I think it's like 3 or 4 inch square fencing. I just cut basically, 3 prongs sticking that way, 3 prongs sticking this way, and then bent it like this. And it fits up in here. And then bolts to the top of the pipe. That way no critters or anything can get up in there and mess with plug up the drain. I'll show you a picture after it's installed.
I saved about $12 to $15 making these myself, and it didn't take very long, maybe 3 to 5 minutes each one. And I had the stainless hardware already in the garage, so that was free. And the fence was in the barn. Here's the finished product after I got it all graded out. You can't even hardly tell there's a French drain pit there. I built up quite a bit of soil on top of that so that if we ever farm this or plow this field, that plowing like 6 inches deep doesn't dig down into the French drain. So plenty of soil right here. Got plenty of soil on top of that pipe. That way I plan to eventually I want to be able to drive like a vehicle or a truck on this swale and the breast of this pond for when we're fishing or kids are playing or whatever. So I wanted plenty of soil on top of this 4-inch pipe that isn't that strong. Wanted plenty of soil on top of it to be able to drive over it. Tractor's, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 pounds and no issues driving over it.
This is the other side of the pond. One I just finished is over there. This is the other corner. This one was a failure. I'll show you why. It's just barely got a little bit of water in it, and there's water underneath the pipe too, which is not good. I'll show you why. This whole bed's wet, unlike the other side, it was dry. I read online that you can't use geotextile fabric because it doesn't allow water through it fast enough for a French drain. The other side, if you watch the video, you noticed I used the felt fabric on the other side, and it's flowing really well. This side, I don't think the water wants to get inside of that fabric because it's a tightly woven geotextile. So, valuable lesson learned. I tried a test in the sink and ran water over this, and it barely dripped water through it, so I should have known better. But a lot of work ahead of me to dig this out. I'm gonna have to do it by hand, and then I don't even know how I'm gonna get fabric back in there without digging out the gravel too, so we'll see. But I'm gonna put the felt fabric in this one too.
I did not film digging that one out. It was late at night and almost dark, so I just hustled through and got it done. And then the next day I came with the tractor and covered it up. See, I got the straw spread on the bed there, and it's actually flowing water through the pipe. No leaks after I put that felt fabric in. That was the issue. And then next here is after the culti mulched field. Look how level that is. It looks beautiful. And then me and my son are going to spread seed and culti pack it. We did not film the culti packing portion. We have a 4-foot culti packer that I tow on the back of my quad. But here we are spreading the seed. I have a chest carry that I use, and you can carry probably 30 pounds of seed. And then my son has this little handheld one. So we mixed up some grass seed, a spring slash mid-year food plot blend for wildlife with clover, chicory. It has some other stuff in it too that's not necessarily good for this time of year, but I threw it in, like oats. I think I put wheat in there. A little bit of everything, some leftover seed. So we'll see what comes out, but hopefully just in general it gets something grown to prevent any erosion. Hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching.